Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
Guys, where are we?
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
Welcome to the Outer Rim. Enjoy your stay.
Previously on X-Men.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun, and we're back talking more comic books, as of course we are, because I'm actually waiting for Severance to start on Friday. So we'll be talking about that show fairly quickly after the episode airs, probably if not Friday night, but Saturday, probably, like, religiously. But while we're waiting for Severance to restart, we're talking comics, and we've been talking Wolverine comics specifically. At least Wolverine's in every one of these comic books. Sometimes he's got somebody else in them with him. Currently, we're doing Wolverine Deep Cut, the book that Claremont released last year. We're also doing Wolverine Revenge, the Hickman Capullo book that started last year that we're still waiting for a 4th issue on. We're doing Deadpool Wolverine, Ben Percy, Josh Cassara's new ongoing series book. We just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, Wade Wilson III, and now we've swung back to Predator versus Wolverine. We've already covered the first issue of this Ben Percy book. Now we're back to talk about issue number 2. So if you're liking what we're doing here on the channel with comics or anything, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell and like and all that stuff that you do for everybody. And I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much as we get into the second issue of this awesome series, because I've never been a guy who likes a lot of these tie-ins. And I've been reading comics since I was 15 years old, 14 years old. And I remember some of the early Predator crossovers and just not really being that into it. And also, I mean, like I said in issue number 1, I don't live and die by like the Alien movies or the Predator movies. I think they're fun in different ways. I like what they've done a lot more in the Alien franchise than the Predator franchise. And I'm like the one weirdo who like the Predator one from just a little while ago, because I guess I just don't take the whole material that seriously. That one just kind of made me laugh a lot. I don't like the Aliens versus Predator movies though at all, and it breaks my heart for that first one, because I mean people like Lance Henriksen are in that movie, and it bummed me out. It bummed me out because that could have been really awesome. And it kind of anyway. But I don't live and die by these movies, and so, or these properties. And Predators just kind of always piss me off because they just come and they use like it's meant to be like, hey, we're the top hunter here, and look at how we, just blast away on animals. Is it really fair? So the Predator's a great character to be like, aha, humans aren't at the top of the food chain, when it comes to the universe. But for some reason, still the Predator just pisses me off because he's got the advantage over us, and that should find, I see what is it? Would that be irony? I see the irony in that, but still pisses me off. But in this series, right, the Predator, this young Predator that finds Wolverine, this is like a unique situation. Has a Predator ever met someone that can heal like Wolverine can? Also, the way that they switched artists between what story they're telling in this book is fantastic. It's a device, but it's a good device. Greg Land telling the past story, Ken Lashley doing the present story, and Andrea DeVito doing the jungle story. I believe in this we have a third artist that's added. Hayden Sherman's doing the Weapon X story. So yeah, and there's when they dropped the old story from Greg Land, who I'm sad to see him not doing another part of this story right now. We now switched again, so we still have 3 artists on this book, and that's just really cool. And the art's really good in this book. Like, again, there's a lot of times when these tie-ins, they'll have great covers and so many variants, and the story might be great, but the art inside a lot of them to me has always been like real hit or miss. Again, these are nitpicks. If you don't like any of these things, you don't have to read them. I surely just will stop reading a book if I'm like, wait a minute, I don't like this. Stop complaining about it and stop reading it. I mean, look, I stuck around in Amazing Spider-Man way, and if you're not enjoying it, right? Anyway, so in the first issue, young Predator comes after Wolverine. Wolverine is outmatched, but his skills at his environment give him the upper hand in this fight. Years later, after being mind wiped a bunch of times, the Predator attacks in the jungle when he's part of the Weapon X, the X program with Sabretooth and Maverick and other people that the Weapon H, I think, put them all in. And that's where we start this story. The present story that's in that book is just Wolverine kind of recapping a little bit and getting chased and blasted. Again, all the art brings something different to the table for each era. And so in this issue, we add the Weapon X facility. So we are doing the present story, we're doing the jungle story, and we're mixing in the Weapon X story. And I like how it keeps progressing and how the Predator is learning from its defeats, and Wolverine doesn't get that same opportunity. There is a weird thing in here that we'll talk about as we read this book. In fact, that's what we're going to get to. So we're going to get to reading the book a little faster, and then I'll give my final thoughts on the book right after. So let's stop talking about Predator versus Wolverine number 2 and start reading it. All right. Let's get into it. So this is where we left off. The Predators come back, but this time in the jungle, he's brought friends. He's got himself and 4 others. And they've already taken out one of their crew. As we start issue number 2, The Predator versus Wolverine. Canada, now. Don't know how long I've been hanging from this cliff. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe an hour. Look at this art. Long enough that the healing factor is kicking in. Blood comes up, nerves fuse, torn muscles seal. I needed a beat to recover because more pain is waiting for me out there. Below is a fall of 200 feet or so. Above me somewhere is the hunter who's come from the stars. He's stubborn, coming at me all these years, but impatient too. We've gone head to head enough times that I'm going to trust my instincts. He's moved on, looking for me elsewhere. Hopefully. Fuck off. I hear it then. The sound he makes. Choom! Look at that. Oof. It's like a spider clacking its mandibles together hungrily when some prey tangles in its web. Look at that. Rad. I mean, he's blasted into the air with branches and rocks flying and then landing in the water with the rocks coming with him. Shoo! Like you can just feel the plunge of him hitting the water with everything like that. Water's a weakness of mine. I'm already weighed down with adamantium. Makes matters worse. I've got an avalanche of stone pinning me flat. My lungs fill with cold, black water and my vision goes red. And for a moment, I lose track of where and when I am. I mean, what a great visual and also just a fact of life. I love that when they bring up, and it's been brought up a lot, I think, more lately, is like, he's heavy. He is short, yet he is filled with heavy metal, and he's trained himself how to live with this inside him, but some things just can't be helped, and one of those things is water. And like in this situation, tension wise, holy crap, because this is such a great way. Then you cut away, right? He cuts away right after this to boom, South America many years ago. Great editing. Team X was a dirty crew that did dirty jobs. Assassinate a politician, blow up a dam, seize an oil platform, take out a cartel. All in the name of geopolitical subversion. We came here to stop a coup, but we found ourselves in the middle of a borderless war. Look at that. We were already down to 4 against their 5. What they were, I didn't know. Like everyone else on Team X, my memories were regularly deleted. But I had carried this weapon with me over the years. Now, this is the part that gets like where you have to just kind of go, okay, do I like they've done plenty of stories with Team X, and it's like you have to go, did they ever have him with like this weird thing carried on him? And if they've been deleting his memories and he has this thing, why wouldn't they just get rid of it? Anyway, it was like a scar. A relic of pain I understood the two of us somehow shared. You want this, don't you? Here you fucking go. So he cuts one of their throats right off the bat. Creed, Mav, Jackson, fall back. Fall back? How about fire away? This isn't going to be a firefight, Maverick. I said fall back, Sabretooth. Fuck that. Another day, another day, any other day, I'd run headfirst into whatever trouble came my way. But I needed a beat to dig in, and I think this one out. Look at Creed just enjoying. I mean, this is Creed's kind of situation. Like, he's got a death wish anyway. Like, he's got a love of death and violence in this situation. Even if he goes down and dies, to him, this is like glorious. And like, eat your heart out, Jesse Ventura, when you got Sabretooth doing it, right? An invisible enemy, one you only know halfway and can't see altogether, requires a different sort of strategy than the standard hack and blast operations Team X specialized in. Well, are you dead, you fuck? Or are you hiding? Shack! Right through his chest. But again, these predators, they don't know, like, you know, they do this to somebody normal, right? This guy turns around on him. Like, hey, what's up? You did something to me. Let me take a hand over here and grab you for it. Come here for a closer look. Shunk. I mean, he just goes on and impales the fucker on it, like, because he knows that it won't kill him, you know? It won't kill him, you know, Sabretooth. There, I see you. Creed's down, but he took one of them with him. What are they, Logan? Don't know. Your weapon. It was somehow in tune with that thing's gauntlet. How? I don't fucking remember, okay? That memory's gone. Must have gotten deleted and scrambled like everything else in my stupid head. Does it even matter? There's just one more thing we gotta kill. Just... Jackson! Where is she? Where the fuck did she... Woof. Poof. Cut her head clean off. Oh, shit. Zeep, beep, 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 kaboom! Move, now. Can't walk. Shack. Missed your femoral artery by an inch, so you got... Lucky? Hold on tight. So that's 2 down. And keep your finger on the trigger. We're going for cover. And digging in like an Alabama tick. Whoosh! What are they, Logan? Don't know. I don't fucking remember, okay? Does it even matter? All right, I want to go back to that. All right, so they going to their guy that's dying, right? And he takes his arm, puts it under his own head, right, for him, and then pops the claws like Wolverine. Again, this kind of thing, there seems to be like, are they following the juvenile or who's not a juvenile anymore because of, like, it seems like there's something about Wolverine they kind of worship. I'm not sure, or I don't know if worship's the right word. How you holding up, Mav? Down. Put me down. Looks like the soldiers were using this temple for storage. The general was ready to go to, and you see the bombs. Snicked! War? See, I am. And just like in a lot, like in a this is like totally like a regular ass like Predator type of movie situation where all of a sudden, you know, you're teamed up with a group of other people that can be slaughtered by the Predator for the story, leaving our heroes or higher up villains safe a little bit. I know why you're here. Then why didn't you shoot? Because we're not enemies. So long as those things are out there. Right? Enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation. They cut through my men like machetes through grass. I don't know what they are. I don't know why they're here. I only know there is a bigger threat than any of us have ever faced. We live or we die together, comprende? Snacked. All right, but we do this my way. It's been an hour. What do you think? You think maybe they left? You think maybe they won't? Uh-oh. Bye-bye, head. When you've lived as long as I have, when you fought for enough countries and causes, you realize good and evil are rare extremes. And we're all, mostly all, a blender of both. The general and I were both caught up in the war machine that never seemed to idle. Whoops. He's probably not okay. Oh, went too far. It just moved its bloody thresher and grinding gears from one part of the planet to another. Politics are muddy, but this situation was perfectly clear. These fucks didn't want money or power. They didn't acknowledge borders or laws. There would be no negotiation that one day led to peace. We were animals to them. That united us. In the pre-Columbian era, the Maya would engage in ritual sacrifice to nourish the old gods and goddesses. Zeep, 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 zeep. In that same spirit, we fed them blood that day. Classic. After setting up the trap, we slipped out a side entrance. Professor Thornton wanted a death receipt on the general. But I assured him everyone and everything was dead down there. So this guy's still alive. Nothing could have survived that. Crink. Typical horror movie schlock, but hey, it's called Predator versus Wolverine and there's more issues, so... Alberta, Canada, Weapons X facility, years later. So now we're in a third story, right? This is like the fourth story. So you've got the Greg Land story from when he was younger. You've got the jungle story. You have this now that takes place after that event where they all got blasted and he got out. The one predator got out, right? And then you have the present story. So there's 4 stories now in this. Huh. Wonder what spooked. What the? Uh-oh. Now this right here, what's about to happen is fucking nuts. He's melting his face to get to his skull. Cutting a path through the Weapon X facilities. What the hell is that thing? I don't know, but imagine if it was ours. Imagine what we could do with. Doom. So, they never mentioned this in the Weapon X history. As the book ends, the Predator stands over Logan. But this is a past story, and Logan's here now. So what the fuck is about to happen to Logan right now? And we'll find out in issue number 3, the next time that we do one of these. So, all right, remove this as we're just back to talking. Okay. I'm going to stop my share screen. There we go. And so, Predator versus Wolverine number 2. Okay, so again, we start at the beginning. It's great. And again, like I said, it sets up a great action sequence where it's just we now know that the Predator's trying to learn, right? So the present story is everything that this guy has learned to throw at Wolverine. So at this point in the story, he's stuck underwater with the Predator about to cut his head off when we cut away from that story permanently. And again, bringing up the weight of the adamantium, putting him in a situation like that. Again, great storytelling, great tension. The Jungle Story, again, it's giving us a great updated version of like the Predator situation, and with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sabretooth, is definitely our Jesse Ventura in this, as they, are all getting taken out as they go along. But again, Maverick, these guys just aren't easy, they're not easy to kill. Not all of them anyway. Maverick, Wolverine, and Sabretooth, I believe even Maverick has a healing factor. But if you cut somebody's head off, I don't know. Like, some people's heads grow back. Wolverine grows back. Deadpool grows back. Apparently, the other people in this, they don't grow back their heads. The girl that got hung and had her head cut off. But again, they make that story fun and actiony and 80s, filled homage to all that lovely stuff. And then we cut now to the Weapon X facility where he's in there, and there was a very Barry Windsor Smith look to that last page that I really, really liked, going all the way back to that. So yeah, I mean, there's some things in here where I was like, okay, we got to forget that he's been carrying around this necklace all this time. Is this 616 adjacent, or is this canon? I don't know. Don't really care that much. But again, like, why would they let him keep it? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out why. Like, and then the whole thing with yeah, what's gonna happen now? How's it gonna carry over? Um, Again, all the art is fantastic. I don't really have anything negative to say. This is more just like, oh, I'm gushing about this. Like I said, if I had any problem, it's like with a little bit of like, is this canon? How do you explain this, if that? But it's just a fun story, like I said, but written really well. It's taking I don't know if you call it taking chances, but Ben Percy's not afraid to get gory in these books. But the fun and the action, it's all here. This is, to me, not a throwaway book. This is just a fun book. And hopefully they do something with this somewhere. I don't care. Again, Marvel, get on the animated series, movies, whatever tip. Start doing them more. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Deadpool. Deadpool. I have so many comics in my head right now, they're leaking out. Then okay, so we've got a little ways to go before we swing back to Predator versus Wolverine number 3. But hopefully this was a fun book for you to like listen to me talk about. So the next book we'll be talking about will be Wolverine Deep Cut number 2. So look out for that soon. Otherwise, keep reading comics, be good to each other out there, and we'll see you in the next video, bubs. Bye. Let's fucking go. Ba 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 bum. Ba bum 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 bum.